The Brave Little Duckling and His Caring Mother by Leakham, Episode 5. Once upon a time, in a peaceful village near a quiet pond, there lived a family of ducklings. Among them were the famous Ugly Ducklings, known not for their appearance anymore, but for their kind hearts and adventurous spirits. They were growing up fast, swimming around the pond every day, playing games, and exploring the tall grasses and the muddy banks. One of the ducklings, named Toby, was especially curious. He loved to wander off and explore places the other ducklings didn't dare go. He wasn't ugly anymore, his feathers had grown beautiful and strong, but he still felt like he needed to prove himself. He wanted to be brave and helpful, not just to his siblings, but to everyone in the pond. One sunny afternoon, Toby decided to explore a rocky hill beside the pond. His mother, Mama Duck, warned him gently, "Don't go too far, my little one. That hill is steep and slippery." But Toby, filled with courage and excitement, smiled and said, "I'll be careful, Mama. I just want to look around." As Toby climbed the hill, the view from the top was breathtaking. He could see the whole pond, the ducks swimming peacefully, the frogs jumping on lily pads, and even the little fish dancing in the water. He felt proud, but as he turned to head back down, his foot slipped on a loose rock. He tumbled down the slope, rolling over sharp stones and landing awkwardly near the edge of the pond. "Ouch!" he cried out. His leg hurt terribly. He tried to stand, but collapsed. He looked down and saw that his leg was bruised and swollen. Tears filled his eyes. "Mama!" he called, his voice shaking. Back at the nest, Mama Duck's heart skipped a beat when she heard her child's cry. She rushed out, her wings flapping in alarm, and followed the sound of Toby's voice. When she saw him lying by the edge of the pond, her heart broke. "Toby!" she called and ran to him. Toby looked up, ashamed and in pain. "Mama, I didn't listen. I fell." Mama Duck gently knelt beside him, wrapped her warm wings around him, and whispered, "Shh, it's okay, my baby. I'm here now. We'll take care of you." Carefully and lovingly, she helped Toby get back to the nest. He leaned on her for support as he limped along. Every step hurt, but her soft voice and strong wings gave him comfort. She cleaned the dirt from his feathers, washed his injured leg with pond water, and placed him gently on a bed of soft leaves. "You'll need to rest," she said. "No walking for a while." "But what if I never walk again?" Toby whispered, scared. Mama Duck kissed his forehead. "You will, sweetie. You're strong, and I'll be here every step of the way." In the days that followed, Mama Duck became Toby's nurse, protector, and biggest cheerleader. She brought him food, told him funny stories, and helped him stretch and move his leg gently so it could heal. His siblings also came to visit and cheer him up, bringing him flowers and singing songs. Sometimes, when the other ducklings were out playing, Toby felt sad and left out. "Why did this happen to me?" he asked one evening. Mama Duck hugged him close. "Even the strongest wings can get hurt. It's not about the fall, it's about how we get back up. And you, my brave little one, are already healing." Toby smiled a little, comforted by her words. Slowly, his leg began to get better. He could wiggle his toes again. Then he could stand. And finally, one bright morning, after weeks of rest, he took his first steps on his own. "I did it, Mama!" he shouted joyfully. Mama Duck clapped her wings with pride. "Yes, you did. I'm so proud of you." From that day on, Toby was even more careful and wiser than before. He still explored, but he always listened to his mother's advice and never went alone. He also helped other ducklings who got hurt or needed help, using his own experience to be kind and supportive. The other animals around the pond admired Toby, not because of how he looked or how fast he could swim, but because of his courage, his kindness, and the love he shared with his mother. And as for Mama Duck, she was happier than ever. She knew her little duckling was growing up, not just strong in body, but strong in heart. Every night before they fell asleep, Toby would snuggle close to his mother and whisper, "Thank you, Mama, for taking care of me when I couldn't take care of myself?" Mama Duck would smile, kiss his head, and reply, "That's what mothers do, my dear. I will always be here for you." And under the stars, in their warm nest by the peaceful pond, the brave little duckling and his loving mother slept soundly, knowing that no matter what happened, they would always have each other. As the days turned into weeks, the little pond where Toby lived buzzed with stories of his bravery. Though he had once been one of the ugly ducklings, now he was seen as a hero who had fallen, endured pain, and gotten back up, with a smile and a story to tell. But the journey of healing was far from over. Toby's leg was stronger now. He could walk and even swim slowly again. Yet there were moments when it still hurt, especially in the mornings. Mama Duck noticed how he sometimes winced when he thought no one was watching. She gently asked, "Are you still in pain, Toby?" "A little," Toby admitted. "But I don't want to stop playing again." Mama Duck nodded, her eyes warm and wise. "It's okay to take things slow. Healing doesn't just mean walking again. It means feeling strong, inside and out." One quiet afternoon, Mama Duck took Toby to the other side of the pond, where the old turtle lived. "This is Grandfather Turtle," she said. "He's wise and knows many things about healing." The turtle blinked slowly and smiled. "Ah, young duckling," he said in a deep voice, "let me tell you a secret. When I was young, I broke my shell falling off a rock. Everyone thought I'd never walk again. But with patience, care, and time, I healed. Sometimes pain leaves a mark, but it also leaves strength." Toby listened carefully. He was amazed. Even a slow, gentle creature like a turtle had once been injured and had healed. "Did it take a long time?" he asked. "Oh, yes," said Grandfather Turtle with a chuckle. "But now I'm strong in ways others can't see." That night, Toby thought a lot about what the turtle had said. He looked at his leg, still a bit bruised, but no longer swollen. It didn't look strong, but it felt stronger. It had carried him through hard times. The next morning, Toby surprised everyone. "Mama," he said, "I want to help others. I want to help anyone who's ever been hurt like me." Mama Duck beamed with pride. "That's a beautiful idea, my sweet boy." So together, they came up with a plan. Toby would visit the little ducklings who were afraid of swimming or who had been injured while playing. He would tell them his story and help them feel brave again. His first visit was to a shy duckling named Penny, who had fallen into the water and now feared going near it. Toby sat beside her and shared his story. Not just the part where he got hurt, but also how scared he was, how his mother helped him, and how he slowly got better. "You don't have to be perfect," he told her. "You just have to keep trying." Penny looked at the water nervously, then at Toby's gentle smile. With a deep breath, she stepped into the pond, just a little, and Toby swam beside her the whole way. She laughed. "I did it," she shouted. And just like that, Toby became more than just a brave duckling. He became a helper, a guide, and a friend. As the seasons began to change and the trees turned golden, Toby grew stronger. The limp he once had was almost gone. He could now swim faster than ever. But more importantly, he had grown wiser. He had learned patience, kindness, and the joy of helping others. One chilly morning, Toby noticed Mama Duck was walking slower. "Mama, are you tired?" he asked. She smiled gently. "A little. These wings have been flapping for many years." For the first time, Toby helped her sit down and brought her food. He tucked soft leaves under her to keep her warm. "You've taken care of me all this time," he said. "Now it's my turn." Mama Duck's heart swelled with love. "Oh, Toby," she said, "seeing you grow up like this is the greatest joy of my life." That winter, when the pond froze over and the wind blew strong, the family stayed close together in their nest. They told stories, shared food, and kept warm with laughter and love. And whenever someone felt afraid or lonely, Toby would remind them, "We get through things together." By the time spring returned, so did the energy in the pond. New ducklings were born, and life was bursting everywhere. Toby was now one of the older ducklings, taller, stronger, and known by every animal around the water. He even started a helping club, where animals who had been through tough times would meet and share their experiences. Some had broken wings, others had gotten lost, and some had simply felt left out. But in the club, everyone was welcome. They played games, told stories, and helped each other heal, just like Mama Duck had once helped Toby. One day, a little frog with a hurt foot came to the club. He looked nervous. Toby knelt beside him and said, "I once couldn't walk either. It hurt. But now I can run and swim, and so will you, I promise." The frog's eyes lit up. "Really?" "Really," Toby said with a smile. That evening, as the sun set over the pond, Mama Duck sat quietly by the water's edge, watching her son lead a group of young animals in song. Her feathers rustled softly in the breeze, and her heart was full. "He's not an ugly duckling anymore," said another mother duck nearby. Mama Duck shook her head. "He never was. He was just growing into who he was meant to be." And so, the story of Toby, the once injured, once uncertain duckling, became a legend in the pond. Not because he swam the fastest or looked the best, but because he turned his pain into purpose and his weakness into wisdom. Every time a duckling stumbled or felt afraid, they would hear Toby's story. They would remember that even if you fall, even if you're scared or hurt, you can rise again with love, courage, and someone by your side. Spring brought new life to the pond. The trees were in full bloom, and birds filled the air with their cheerful songs. Ducklings splashed and laughed in the water. And at the heart of it all was Toby, now stronger, wiser, and beloved by all the animals. But even as the sun warmed the world, a change was coming, not just in the seasons, but in Toby's heart. One early morning, Toby sat on the edge of the pond, watching the sunrise. He loved this quiet time before the world awakened. Mama Duck waddled over and sat beside him. "You've grown so much," she said, gently nuzzling his wing. "I couldn't have done it without you," Toby replied with a smile. "You saved me." Mama Duck looked into his eyes. "And now you're saving others. That's the greatest gift you can give." They sat in silence for a while, listening to the breeze and the distant chirping of crickets. That day, Toby noticed a new family had arrived near the pond. Among them was a young duckling named Lila. She was quiet, shy, and always stayed close to her mother. Toby saw something familiar in her eyes, something he had once felt too: fear and doubt. He swam over gently. "Hi," he said with a friendly wave of his wing. "I'm Toby. Want to play?" Lila shook her head. "I can't. My legs are weak. I'm not good at swimming." Toby smiled kindly. "I used to say the same thing, but guess what? Now I swim every day. Want to know how I got better?" Lila's eyes widened. "You were hurt too?" Toby nodded. "Very badly. I couldn't walk for weeks. But my mother helped me. And I learned to be patient and brave." Every day after that, Toby visited Lila. He encouraged her with small games, splashing a little water, dipping her feet, floating gently on the surface. Day by day, Lila gained confidence. Mama Duck watched from a distance, proud and quiet. She saw how gently Toby guided Lila, never rushing her, always supporting her. She saw how kind his eyes were, how full of heart he had become. "You're becoming like me," she told him one evening. Toby blinked. "Like you?" "Yes," she said. "The way you care, the way you help. That's what mothers do." Toby hadn't thought of it that way. But now he understood. Mama Duck had taught him more than just how to heal. She had shown him what it meant to love without expecting anything in return. Lila's progress was slow but beautiful. One bright afternoon, she swam across the shallow end of the pond all by herself. Her mother cried happy tears. The other ducklings cheered, and Toby beamed with pride. "You did it, Lila," he cried. "I believed in myself," she said, laughing, "just like you told me." That night, Toby walked home with Mama Duck, the sky full of stars above them. "Mama," he said, "I think I want to do this forever. Help others. Like you helped me. Mama Duck paused. Then that's what you were meant to do. But not everything was as calm as the pond. One summer evening, a strong wind blew through the forest. Storm clouds gathered, and the sky turned gray. All the animals rushed to their shelters. Thunder rumbled above them. In the middle of the chaos, a cry was heard. Someone had fallen into the water. Without thinking, Toby rushed out. "Stay inside, Mama!" he called as he ran toward the edge of the pond. Lightning flashed. Rain poured down. The wind howled. Near the far bank, a small duckling was clinging to a broken branch, struggling against the current. It was Lila. "Help!" she cried, her little wings slipping. Toby dove into the water, his heart pounding. The storm churned the pond into angry waves. But Toby swam hard, pushing through the wind and rain. "I'm coming, Lila! Hold on!" With one strong stroke, he reached her. She was trembling, scared, and soaked. Toby wrapped his wing around her. "It's okay. I've got you," he said. Using all his strength, he guided her back to shore. The waves fought against him, but he didn't give up. Finally, with a last push, they reached the shallow waters, where her mother and Mama Duck were waiting. Lila sobbed into her mother's feathers. "Toby saved me!" Mama Duck hurried to Toby and hugged him tightly. "You brave, beautiful soul." That night the storm passed, and calm returned. But in the heart of the pond, something new had begun to grow. Not just peace, but deep respect for Toby. He wasn't just a helper now, he was a hero. As summer ripened, other animals began coming from nearby ponds just to meet Toby. Some came with sprained wings, others with broken hearts. He listened to each one, shared his story, and reminded them, "You are not alone. We heal together." Mama Duck sometimes sat beneath a willow tree, watching her son lead others with kindness and courage. She thought of the day he fell, the pain, the tears, the slow recovery. And now, look at him, a guide, a light. One evening, Toby sat beside his mother and asked, "Do you think I'm ready to lead on my own?" Mama Duck smiled, eyes full of love. "Toby, you've already been leading. Not with force, but with love. And that is the greatest kind of leader." He took a deep breath and looked out over the pond. "Then I want to start a healing center, a place where injured animals can come, where they'll be safe, where they can rest, just like I did." Mama Duck nodded. "And I will help you. Always." That autumn, Toby's dream came true. With help from all the animals in the forest, they built a cozy hut near the pond, made of leaves, grass, and strong reeds. They called it the Feather Nest. Inside were soft beds, warm water, and gentle voices. Animals came from all around to rest, recover, and feel loved. On the wall, they hung a sign. "You are safe here. You are loved. You will heal." Toby worked every day, offering hugs, encouragement, and hope. And Mama Duck? She was always nearby, offering wisdom and tea brewed from pond herbs. Toby had once been an injured duckling, lost and afraid. Now he was a symbol of strength, not because he never got hurt, but because he knew how to rise again, and how to help others do the same. The end of Episode 5.